Okay, so the title may fool you, and no, I am not dead. I am actually alive and well doing now. But this story I'm about to tell you guys is honestly something insane, and honestly something that I've always wanted to tell on this channel, but never knew really when. Until recently, one of you guys came into my Discord server saying, "Hey, Bubba, have you ever really died recently?" And I thought it would be funny to maybe tell this story, because this story is a day when I almost died for a girl. So let's get straight into the story, but before I do, make sure you guys do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And on top of that, I am currently live on Twitch right now, so if you guys do want to watch me live telling these crazy stories, just click the link down in the description. You guys can join in. Anyways, what is going on, you guys? My name is Bubba, and welcome back to another insane story. So this story takes place back when I was, funny enough, in middle school. That's right, I was literally in middle school, bro. I had nothing special going on for me. I literally looked like a lost cause. Yeah, I did not pull much back in middle school at all. Actually, I didn't pull anything back in middle school when it came to girls, but you know what? Who cares? I had video games back then. Back then, video games were more important than women. Yeah, I am depressed now because I am now playing more video games than women. Anyways, going on though, I remember back when I was in middle school, I had this middle school crush. Now, I might have spoke about my middle school crush in a lot of different videos, because every video I mention about me being in middle school is the same story. Like, not really the same story, but the same girl, because I only had one girl in my mind when I was in middle school. Maybe one day I'll bring her on and let her talk for herself about our middle school experiences, but for now, you're gonna hear it from me. But if you guys do want to hear from her one day, comment down below. Maybe I can invite her and make her talk on video. Who knows? That'd be actually really weird. No, actually, let's not do that. Okay, according to my senses, I have to say 1,000 likes and I'll bring my middle school crush on one of my videos. That is crazy. Oh my god. Okay, I might have to reach out to her and tell her that. Anyways, going on. Basically, I remember one time when I was a kid, I was a big fan of superheroes. If you guys don't know how this correlates to the story, just trust me, it does. But I was a big fan of superheroes. If you guys don't know, I am actually a big Batman fan. Batman was my favorite superhero ever since I was a kid, and Spider-Man was as well. But let's be real here, Batman is cooler than every other superhero because he is the strongest superhero, even though he's just a drawing. But anyways, going on. I remember in my middle school days, I was at home one time and I was playing on my Xbox, playing Batman Arkham Asylum. If you guys don't know Batman series, you guys would know that my favorite game is Batman Arkham Knight, but I was playing Arkham Asylum at this time because I didn't have Arkham Knight, and I remember I finished the game 100%. And when I finished the game 100%, I remember I was just sitting there thinking, damn, that was a lot of Riddler trophies, and why can't I be a superhero? That question popped up in my mind, and I remember I was just thinking throughout the entire day of how I could be a superhero. And I remember even the next day, like at school, I still had that mindset. I was thinking, what if I could save someone's life? How would it feel for me to be a superhero? Now, this is where parts get kind of creepy, because I remember every time I saw my middle school crush, she would never like really actually look at me or like anything severely. Like, I'm gonna be honest, unless I had a Justin Bieber haircut and a Jeep in the background, like this girl was not in any way interested in me. And knowing I looked like a total lost cause and a nerd in a sense, I knew she wasn't into me. But I thought one time that maybe one day I could save her life. Now, I know this is like a common shower thought where you guys maybe have like rock metal concerts, or you guys go through scenarios in your head and like you're like, oh, like I'm a superhero, oh, I'm a designer, oh, I'm a famous YouTuber. Like, I don't know, people have this thought in the shower where they're like, you know, they go into like crazy fantasies about their life. And I remember mine, I had one in my moment at middle school, sitting down at my desk, looking at my middle school crush, thinking I could save her life. How so? I have no damn idea. So I remember it became my mission to save her life at least one time in middle school. How? I have no idea. It got to that point where I literally almost every day would follow her around. The most creepy damn thing I know, but I would follow her around and basically be her guardian angel. I remember one time, funny enough, there was a guy who walked up to her randomly, and I remember this guy was like kind of like bugging her in a way. So I remember I walked up to him, all me, you know, being 5'11", short as hell, being weird champ Andy, walked up to him saying, hey bro, like just leave her alone, don't be a weirdo. I remember my middle school crush looks at me all like weirded out, and I remember the guy who was like picking on her was like, dude, you should shut up, you literally look like a tiny kid, I could kick your butt any day of the week. And I remember I said, oh yeah, try it. Funny enough, he walked away. Smart choice of him. I would have totally gotten my butt kicked if I did actually fight him though. Anyways, I remember my middle school crush looked at me and she kind of like giggled and then walked away. Yeah, you know, I was expecting more of a superhero kiss like they do in the movies, but I guess not. And then I remember there was another time, funny enough, when I was gonna save my middle school crush. I remember we were playing kickball. Now, if you guys don't know, California kickball is a really dangerous game. You kick a ball as far as you can, bippity boppity boo, you catch it, woohoo. You know, it's a scary game, okay? And I remember one time I was just kind of like sitting, not that far away, but I was like on the bleachers, and my crush was also sitting like kind of like a couple steps down on the bleachers. And I remember there was a ball that was literally headed towards them, but my middle school crush didn't see it, nor did her friends that were around her at the time. So I remember I stood up and literally walked 2 steps down and jumped all the way to the ground just to catch that ball in midair. I'm not gonna joke you guys, like I'm not even trolling. I felt like a little superhero because I was in midair. The ball literally ended up hitting my chest and I fell on the ground. Like, no joke, I was like, literally think of me in midair jumping over 3 women just to catch a ball and land on my shoulder. It hurt so bad. And I remember I was just laying down on the ground trying not to cry, being like, okay, it was worth it. I saved her. And I remember her friends looked at me and said, why'd you do that, bozo? We could have caught that. What? You telling me you could have caught that? You would have gotten my middle school crush killed. Not literally, but you guys know what I mean. Like, they were just being really dumb. And then I remember, funny enough, my middle school crush actually interacted with me in that moment and said, nice hands, and walked away. Yeah, I don't know what that meant, but you know what? Who cares? I saved her life once again. At that point, me being a guardian angel was working. But then this is where it really became the truth of how I actually became her hero. And I'm not gonna lie, I almost died doing this. So before anyone watches this video thinking, oh, I could save my middle school crush, warning, don't do this. You would actually get hurt. I should know I did. Anyways, I remember one time it was after school, and I remember me and my heroic mindset. This is kind of creepy, so don't do this, but I would always watch my middle school crush walk home. I always wanted to make sure she walked home safely, and I always remember, like, you know, I would watch her from the top of the school roof like a superhero, funny enough, and watch her walk all the way home because she didn't live that far from the school. But I remember one time, for some reason, my senses were kicking in. I don't know what it was. I can't say it was like a spider sense or anything because it wasn't. I was just a normal kid in middle school, but I had some kind of sense hit my chest. So I remember that one time when I had that feeling, I put my backpack on and I started walking with my middle school crush. I remember I walked up beside her and said, hey, can I like walk home with you? She was walking by herself, and I remember she like looked at me. She's like, yeah, sure. I didn't know you lived this way though. I didn't, but I just totally lied to her and said, oh yeah, like I live just further down the street. Anyways, me and her were walking, and I remember as we were walking, funny enough, we were just talking about classes and stuff and how we had like a really dumb teacher. And then I remember the funniest thing ended up happening where me and her, we had to cross the street. Now, when you cross the street, the smartest thing to do is look both sides and walk across, right? Okay. Yeah, she didn't do that. I don't know where she grew up, but she did not look both sides. She just ended up walking across the street, not looking both sides. And I remember I was like kind of scared to walk, so like I was kind of a bit behind her. But then I remember there was this car coming super quick. It was like almost like a truck. Like it was like a basic like Ford F-150 coming down the road. And I remember she was like standing like kind of like towards it when she looked back to see if I was even following her. And at that point, I was freaked out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's gonna get hit by that car. I remember this kid that was driving the Ford F-150 was like going like 60 in a 30 zone. 60 in a 30 zone, people. Like, hello, you're gonna die. And he was driving his heart out, you know, listening to blasting music. And he definitely did not see the chick there, because I'm gonna be honest, this person driving looked hella short. So I remember I was gonna do my superhero thing, and I instantly just, I don't know, it was fight or flight. It was just one of those mindsets. And I remember I ended up literally, and I'm not even joking when I say this, think of me literally in a superhero moment where I literally ran up towards her. I pushed her as hard as I can to the sidewalk, and I was literally in midair as the truck hit me. Yep, I'm not even joking, the truck hit me. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, the truck was not going 60 miles per hour at this moment. The truck was probably going like, I don't know, like 10 miles per hour. Not even, maybe less. Like the truck barely hit me. I'll tell you guys that much. At most, I like got like hit a little bit off the line, but like the truck was over the line. So no matter what, it was either she got hit by the truck or I did. And I remember as I pushed her and like I'm just like on the ground after getting hit by the truck, I remember there were some parents across the street freaking out like, oh my goodness, like that boy just saved her life. Like, oh my goodness. And everyone like kind of like started getting around me. Someone called the ambulance as I was like standing up. It was hilarious. And I remember my middle school crush looks at me and smiles and says, did you literally just jump in front of a car for me? I remember I looked at her and I'm like, yeah. I didn't know what she was thinking at that moment, but I remember she ended up going home, and I got escorted to the hospital by the ambulance because parents wanted to make sure I was okay and stuff. And I remember the next day at school, I ended up seeing her at school, and I looked at her and I'm like, hey, like, are you okay from yesterday? She looked at me. She's like, oh, like I got a couple bruises like on my arm, but that was just from you pushing me. Other than that, I'm okay. And then I remember one of the middle school guys, they were like the guys who picked on me or pick on her originally, heard about me like, you know, basically pushing her and said, yo, bozo, why'd you push a girl, loser? And as my middle school crush heard that, she literally stood up and said, yeah, this guy can save a life and you guys can't even look at a life, bozo. Go find friends. And sat back down. Damn, she stood up for me. At that moment, I knew that was the girl of my dreams. Anyways, other than that, that is basically it, the end of the story. Make sure you guys do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And on top of that, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys do click on the link in the description down below, because I tell these stories all the time on Twitch. So if you guys want to watch me live, which I am right now, I highly advise go watching it. Other than that, follow for more embarrassing stories. All right, peace out, guys.